all see the outside. We all see the outside, yes. And because we see the beauty. Let God see the ugly part and let God deal with that ugly part. We choose to see the beauty, and that's what we're dealing with this morning. Before we take our news points for this morning, I don't know. I just want to tap your brains this morning. I don't know. Ajibola confirms that he saw that video. Ladies, did you see that video where on Friday or on Saturday where
Mr. President.
Yeah, a private call to Wasiu, the Fuji. I don't
lost his mom.
Yes, and then was that video? Was it supposed to get out? Bukola, did you see that video?
Well, I didn't see the video.
You didn't see the video?
I didn't. No.
Joy, you didn't see the video as well?
I saw the video.
I also saw the video.
What's the video about?
So, Mr. President put a call
to
him, commiserating with him that,
Okay.
on the loss of his mother. Not only was Mr. President on speaker, that video, that call was also recorded and it was shared, especially via the blogs, the party blogs. And so here is my take. There's some things that you don't chase clout with.
So
that call was a private call. And so even for me, it meant that whatever relationship you had with the president, you made rubbish of it. By putting that out there, he is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He might be your friend, he might be your acquaintance, but please, respect that office as the office of a president. In other places, I'm sure security guys would have picked him up for doing that. I mean, because
that was a breach of trust.
That's on the law.
In fact, for me, I have this issue with people recording private conversations.
I don't understand.
Let's leave the president out of it now. It is so wrong for you to record a private conversation and then you post it online.
Yeah, because ordinarily, if you're even putting somebody on speaker, you should let that person know
that
you're on speaker.
Thank you.
So that that person can guide their utterances. If they don't want to say anything about it, then it's okay. But for crying out loud, I think we also need to get to that. You see why sometimes they say they want to regulate social media?
What is he trying to prove? That
To prove
I am
clout.
the president.
The president
Yeah,
is my party,
I'm quite
my
close to
friend.
Mr. President.
Yes,
like Abimbola said, it was a private call. Why it was out there, I really do not know. Then, you see, the office of Mr. President is one office you should respect, no matter who is occupying that office.
Nigerians don't.
We are all Yorubas, and
then the way he
Nigerians
spoke
on social
to him,
media.
the way he was talking to Mr. President. Hello.
Imagine, really?
That's what I'm saying, that it was a private thing. So even if you had no regard for him, please have regard for Nigerians. Because that is the president of Nigeria. So if you treated him that way, then what are we talking about? There are some things that this is where Bayon Onuga should have acted.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
So the handlers of Mr. President,
He looked away.
they can still
Maybe
look
he
back.
didn't see the video.
Okay, please look back.
They can look
and do
back.
the needful.
Let's play the devil's
first
advocate.
thing-
Maybe he didn't see the video.
Okay.
Uncle Bayo was busy chasing the emir of Kano, or one of the emirs of Kano.
Honestly, I think that video should actually be pulled down. It should be pulled down because honestly, if we're talking about hierarchy, respect, and that's for me, it is not dignifying.
Abimbola football.
Who is the national fan here, please?
Oh my goodness.
Who is the
I
national
don't-
fan?
Man U
Who is the
fan?
national fan here?
Man U.
Who is a Man U fan?
I think Ube is not here, unfortunately. I see Man U,
See Man U fan.
Joy is raising her hands.
Man U now.
Even your coach is admitting that this is the worst. This is the worst team in history. But what happened to Man City? They found
Against who? Against who?
Leave Man City.
Against who?
Man City has a problem. Pep is dealing with personal
No,
issues.
but at least they won their match yesterday. Now six.
Abimbola, against
how many matches?
Against who?
But they've had enough already.
Arsenal.
They've been
Then
there. They've
Arteta
done
too-
that.
Arteta too is
It was a
problem.
draw now.
Yeah, it was
Was
a
a
draw.
draw,
but
not the
it was a
win.
I think
shameful
that
draw.
draw was a very painful,
From 2-0.
annoying draw.
From 2-0. Okay.
No.
Well, all eyes on Chelsea tonight.
Yay!
Let's hope your champion-
Lately we've been acting like the national grid of Nigeria.
Messing up and off, on and off. We've been messing up. But have I hope
I
tonight,
just hope
Sha?
there's a win tonight. But for me, I think day in there, my heart that is, just joining that support for Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm rooting for
and
Liverpool
it looks
as well.
like,
But our coach said that we are not after the
please,
Premier
who
League
is
title.
our
That we're
coach?
not what?
Please, who is our coach?
All we want is that 3 points. We are not after the Premiership title. So please, we are warming up. We are
Bukola, that's a mind game. That's a mind game.
Bukola is funding for the game. All right, let's move on. Let's take our news point for today. Shall we do Joy the Owners? Joy, let's start from Lagos.
Okay. Just give me a
Yeah,
minute.
you ready?
Are you the national game?
My network.
Why are you acting like the national game now?
Okay. All right. Since Joy is still trying to get her story, let me start. And then this morning we're looking at Algon, where 774 councils are to open dedicated bank accounts with the Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN. The 774 local governments are to open dedicated accounts with the Central Bank of Nigeria for the direct disbursement of allocations to them from the Federation accounts. Algon said yesterday. The national president, Bello Lawal Yandeki, said the opening of the account is critical to the implementation of the Supreme Court ruling on direct allocations to the councils. He said the Apex Bank is waiting for the federal government's directive on the opening of the account. Also, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, the NFIU, is set to monitor the utilization of the funds by the chairman in conformity with the principles of transparency, accountability, and good governance. According to reports, the federal government had constituted a team of anti-corruption agents drawn from the ICPC and the EFCC to prosecute council chairmen and other officials who indulge in corrupt practices. Well, if anything is to go by this month, January, the local councils should start receiving their phones directly. So for them to open accounts with the CBN, it means that they are also ready to take delivery of their funds and to use their phones judiciously. And I also like the fact that as government will be giving them the money, they will also be monitoring.
Oh, yes.
So that anybody who does otherwise with those phones will have somebody to answer to.
Well, it's a good development for our democracy, especially at the grassroots. But I think that judgment was given in August or September. So why wait this long until
It was even earlier than that.
It is better late than never.
Better late than never.
Yes.
I just hope those local government chairmen will know that ICPC and EFCC will be watching.
They know.
And for the local government chairmen in Oyo State, are they still members of Algon? Because they pulled out.
Of Algon.
Yeah. In support of their governor.
Well, that's their own. That's their own.
Or when they receive their allocations, they will now think, Mr. Governor, we are here.
So
Please, what do we do with our funds?
So for right now, I'd like to talk to Nigerians generally now. So now that you know that your local government chairmen are going to be getting money, please hold them accountable.
Oh, yes.
For the inner roads, don't hold President Tinubu, please.
No.
For your primary healthcare center.
Primary schools.
Yes, hold the
council.
They have money now. So hold them. Go to their houses. You know them. They live very
They
close to
live-
you.
Some do not.
For
Some
those
do
that
not
live
anyway.
there.
Some do not.
Can you imagine?
But there are no room for excuses anymore.
Now,
not at
they
all.
have money now, so hold them responsible for all your dividends of democracy within your locality. Not the president.
No more. No more. All right, Jibola, let's take your story.
All right, NLC here. NLC fault fresh petrol hike, says federal government insensitive. And it has some riders, labor fears hike with fuel food crisis, increase in line with rising crude price. Dangote Refinery is talking. The Nigeria Labour Congress has frowned on the recent hike in the pump prices of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, describing it as the height of insensitivity against the masses. Senior NLC officials disclosed this in a separate interview with our correspondent on Sunday, as oil marketers refuted being blamed for the recent hike in PMS prices nationwide. Similarly, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery also said the rise in petrol price was not from the $20 billion Lekki-based plant, but due to an increase in the cost of crude oil, the major component for refined petroleum products. Recall that on Friday, the pump prices of petrol rose to between 1,050 naira and 1,150 naira per litre, following the hike in the cost of the commodity by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and various depot owners. Dealers confirmed that PMS prices will continue to rise since the major component in the fuel production, crude oil, has been on the upward swing lately. So it's not the fault of Dangote.
Well, As it is.
It's the international market that will determine the price of crude.
But you know, again, a lot of Nigerians really do not understand how these things work. And so once there is either a cut or an increment, they will either call on NNPC,
or the federal
Dangote
government.
Refinery, or the federal government. And so we must also get to that level where constant engagement is really important. And oftentimes, NNPCL keeps mum. They do not talk when they need to talk. It is only when they need to do a rejoinder that you hear them say, oh, no, it's not us. And so we always want to, so when the prices came down, but funny enough, yesterday I still bought fuel at 9.35.
Okay.
I still bought at 9.35. So it means that it's either that filling station is still selling old stock.
Old stock, yes.
Or maybe they haven't
this morning we
restocked.
bought at 9.75.
I still bought 9.35 yesterday. So depending on where you're buying. But the funny thing is NNPCL filling stations are short.
So where do we go?
You go to those people that are selling.
Independent marketers.
Yes.
Those ones.
That was why I still bought at 9.35 now. NNPC sells at 9.25. But
I hope there are no
selling.
queues.
Where?
For now, no.
I'm yet to see any queue in Lagos.
There are no queues.
Okay.
As long
Now,
as the
but
commodities are
we have
available.
news reports that there are queues in other parts of the nation, yes. But I'm yet to see any in
Lagos. I don't think I've seen as well.
I have not.
Okay, let's take your story, Bukola.
Okay, my story is a very sad one that happened on Saturday. Niger explosion, Tinubu Buhari orders mourn as death toll hits 86. The death toll in the petrol tanker explosion at Diko Junction near Suleja in Niger State has risen to 86, with 55 persons injured and receiving treatment at the hospital. By Saturday, when the incident happened, the death toll was put at 70 and 50 injured. However, more corpses have since been recovered and given mass burial in Diko. Now, I'm going to go down to what the president said. Now, reacting to the incident, President Bola Tinubu expressed deep sorrow in a statement signed by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga. The president mourned the victims and expressed his condolences to the families affected, as well as to the government and the people of Niger State. President Tinubu also directed the relevant agencies to provide comprehensive medical care to the injured and instructed security and road safety authorities to implement measures to avert similar incidents. The president also mandated the National Orientation Agency to initiate a nationwide educational campaign to raise public awareness about the severe risk and environmental dangers of scooping fuel from falling tankers. I will just stop here. Now, I really do not understand why a right-thinking person would go and scoop fuel.
Yeah, I saw the video yesterday. And
I don't know what they are trying to get. Are they trying? Is it desperation? Is it poverty? Is it illiteracy? I don't understand. What is the problem, for God's sake?
Because again, sometimes you think that people should know.
We should know.
So if not that, sometimes I can't even find the right word to use for things like this.
Because how many liters of fuel do you want to get?
What beats me more is the fact that you know what you're doing is dangerous, and then you're calling other people to join you in scooping. And those ones too will come. And at the end of the day, you open your mouth and say, government. Hey. And now 60, 80,
86.
Yes,
86.
And others are there, breathing in pain. And then you call on government. We are government ourselves, though. So sometimes we just need to look at the negative effects of these things when they happen. But when these things happen, the first thing that people think of, let me amass and go and resell. And at the end of the day, you will not be alive.
Oh my God.
You see, you have said it all. It's a combination of so many things, but I wouldn't like to use certain words on TV this morning. But Mr. President had challenged the NOA to please reorientate our people. There are certain things that are not sensible for you to do.
It is suicidal, actually.
It is.
For you to say you want to scoop fuel.
Okay, Joy.
Lagos State government demands better WAEC results, begins schools monitoring. The Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education in Lagos State, Jamiu Ali Balogun, has directed evaluators from the Office of Education Quality Assurance to monitor schools below the tertiary level in the state closely. The move is to ensure that students perform better in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination. This is according to reports from Remy Abdul, the Coordinating Director of the Office of Education Quality Assurance. He emphasized the importance of effective monitoring and evaluation of schools across the state. According to him, says the commissioner has mandated evaluators to monitor the implementation of compulsory early morning and afternoon lessons, as well as Saturday intervention classes. He said the evaluators were expected to visit schools every Thursday to monitor afternoon lessons, while morning lessons were monitored during resumption. It says that they have visited 109 schools and they plan to visit all schools. He says that any learner that does not participate in the intervention class will not be registered for WAEC. Likewise, teachers should also be monitored. They should be alive to their responsibilities and show commitment. End of quote.
Well, if you're spending money, you need to know what you're spending money.
You know, apart from this initiative, the Lagos State government also introduced another initiative. That's the Lagos Eco-Learners Support Program for WAEC and NECO candidates on television. So the government is pumping so much
there's no
into
excuse
the
for
education
failure
sector. So
you can't afford to fail.
Students can't afford to fail. If you join the morning classes and the afternoon classes, also join
the one on TV.
Television classes too, on LTV.
There's no excuse
so you have no excuse to fail.
No excuse to fail. So I mean, government is doing all it can to ensure that our students are, engaged meaningfully. But we also need to keep telling the students themselves there are many opportunities. Which one do you want to take? And so this is where parents will also need to come in. There's a need to monitor. Sometimes when they are off schools, what are they doing with their time?
They're on social media.
Not everything that you leave at the beck and call of the teachers and government. Parents will also need to monitor their children.
Sure.
Appropriately.
Then how many hours do they even spend in school? And like you have rightly said, parents also need to be on top of their game. And of course, probably, because most of these students, they are distracted from so many things. Instead of reading, they are busy with their devices.
It's the phone.
It's doing TikTok.
Yes.
Doing TikTok.
I'm a TikTok guru,
Don't worry, Trump is your supporter.
No, I mean, Trump has...
You're not on TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
I'm not.
I am, but I don't know what's happening.
I'm not.
I'm just there, but I'm not there.
You're missing.
Missing what?
I only have one video there.
See, with TikTok, you have no problem.
Let us go. Problem solver. All right, let's quickly go to the X platform this morning. Time is fast spent and take a look at what is trending, although we mentioned it in passing already. And of course, Dangote Group, Dangote Refinery is trending this morning. And why is that company trending? And so they are saying that the increase in pump price is not from them. Like Ajibola mentioned earlier, it is due to the increment in the price of crude. And crude is a global commodity, so it is not directly the fault of Dangote Refinery that the landing cost of PMS has increased. I think it's just about a few, about 5 naira.
That 5 naira is something new.
I just hope our market men and women will not take wrong advantage of this increase. It is slight.
We have a way of just allowing everything to take effect from this thing. Well, that is why Dangote Refinery is trending this morning. You can visit the X platform and take a further read on why that company is trending. Right, that's it on hashtag this morning, as well as our news points for today. We'll take a quick break. When we return, our first conversation this morning will center around Donald J. Trump, who, in a matter of hours, will again be sworn in as the president of the United States of America. Of course, I think he's the second man that will occupy the White House and not in a consecutive position as the president. But of course, Trump is one man that loves to trend. He trends for so many
Did you see his official portrait?
I saw it.
Like a gangster.
And he looked like
when I saw the picture, I was like, why did he choose to
that particular one.
He had myriads of pictures. And
he chose that one.
And you saw his victory rally yesterday.
Yeah.
He's been throwing jabs.
And he said so many executive orders will be signed in this morning. So we'll be engaging two Nigerian Americans who, of course, have stayed and are staying in the U.S. and will be telling us their expectations from the Trump presidency.